You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr., and here's what we have coming up on the Eagles Now Rundown. Are the Eagles going to add a key player back to the roster for a playoff run? We have a new Jalen Hurts injury update, and Saquon Barkley said he's at peace with the decision to not play against the New York Giants, and obviously with him not playing against his former team, he will not set the record for the most rushing yards in a single season to take down Eric Dickerson's record, which has been in place since 1984. Before we do that, a couple of things I want to talk about here. First of all, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We are seriously on that push for 100,000 subscribers. This has been my goal all throughout this season. The channel currently at 96,800 worldwide. That means we're 200 people away from 97K. Can we get there before kickoff? That's what I want to accomplish this week. And what you get when you hit that sub button, informative, insightful, thought-provoking, entertaining Eagles content every day, year-round, where you have a voice and you stay in the know with everything that's going down with the birds. Also, our sponsor for today's show, our friends at Roan. I hope that your 2025 is off to a great start. If you want to level up your fashion game this year, don't even wait. Do it with Roan. Right now, you can get 20% off your order thanks to our partners if you go to roan.com/chatsports and you use the code chatsports. I am wearing their commuter shirt right now. Their commuter collection is awesome. And I just want you to think about fashion for a moment, right? And what you like to wear. Starchy, stiff workwear is not optimal when you need to endure your busiest, most important days. With Roan's commuter collection, their clothing looks professional, performs like activewear, and it feels like total comfort. Are you wanting to look good without having to think about it? A layerable, durable, refined wardrobe that is easy to style and exudes swagger and confidence like players in an Eagles uniform, all effortlessly in a wide range of social and professional events here at Chat Sports, on a date, hanging out with some friends, at your workplace. The hassle of frequent dry cleaning or washing, you don't have to worry about that with Roan's wrinkle release technology. They have premium pieces to elevate every occasion. We're talking about the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos, and blazers, all boosted with functional performance properties and the best materials. So it's time for unparalleled confidence without all of the hassle. Each piece in Roan's commuter collection is made to coordinate and layer for an instantly elevated look. And that wrinkle release technology, 100% machine washable as well. Looking good is that easy. So head to roan.com/chatsports, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your entire order. We'll put that link down below in the comment section, and it's dangling on the pinned comment of today's Philadelphia Eagles. Now, could the Birds be getting back a key player for a playoff run in what we hope is also a Super Bowl run in the process? The Eagles this week opening up the practice window for tight end Dallas Goedert, which means that he's nearing a return. Nick Sirianni's not sure when exactly he's going to come back. I'd imagine it'd be for the wild card round. Placed on IR with a knee injury early in December. Originally, he was week to week. There were some conflicting reports. Is he going to go on IR? Is he just going to be out for a couple of weeks? What Philadelphia elected to do, put him on IR, out for at least 4 weeks. That will allow him to get back healthy, be able to fix that knee, get it to a point where he'd be able to play in-game action, and it looks as though that could happen soon. I will say, Grant Calcaterra has done a really nice job in replacing him this year. Calcaterra is a player who started off at Oklahoma, had some concussion issues, but the pedigree was there for him to play at Oklahoma, goes to SMU after kind of medically retiring, and then was able to get drafted by Philadelphia, and you clearly see the athleticism and the ability. I thought one of the turning points of that game against Dallas last Sunday was that one-handed catch by Calcaterra on the long ball from Kenny Pickett. That got the momentum in the Eagles' favor. It gave Pickett some confidence. It got the Eagles' offense moving the chains downfield in or near that red zone. It was a huge play in that football game. Here's what Sirianni had to say about Goedert. It'll be super important to have him back. He's a great football player that has helped this football team win a lot of football games. So really excited for the possibility to get him back. Like I said, we'll see when that happens, but it's just good to get him back on the field, getting him practicing again, seeing him out there because he's a presence for our offense. Goedert here in 2024. We always know about the ability of Goedert. We know that he's put up some really good numbers. He's played in big playoff games. He was awesome in that Super Bowl against Kansas City as Jalen Hurts was able to hit him with a couple of dime balls. You watch him play, rumbles downfield, can pick up yards after the catch. A really gifted athlete, light feet, good hands, 6'5", 256. The issue with Goedert is that he's played a full season like once in his career, and this year, limited. Had a hamstring injury earlier this year. Then he had the knee injury last year. It was the wrist. Still solid numbers for the games that he's been on the field. As for Grant Calcaterra, limited production here. But what do your eyes tell you? When he makes a play, you're like, okay, 6'4", 240. He moves pretty well. Impressive guy. 22 catches for 288 yards. That touchdown a few weeks ago, there was that viral clip of his brother watching him, and his brother went crazy at the time, but that was certainly cool to see. Goedert, by the way, on this Thursday, January 2nd, as I'm recording this video, a full participant in practice. So looks as though Goedert going to come back soon. Will he play when other starters aren't playing in Week 18? We'll see. If not, wildcard round is that target date. And what he brings, this Eagles offense. One of the top tight ends in football when healthy. He's another weapon in the pass game. Defenses have to be aware of where he is because look at that Saints game. Took over for a $160 through the air alongside Saquon Barkley, MVPs of the game. He's also a great run-blocking tight end in this run-heavy Eagles offense, and he's used a lot, too, on the brotherly shove behind Jalen Hurts. I also do wonder if this could be Goedert's final season. This is something that we theorized about going into this year. I'm pretty sure that his guaranteed money is up after this year, so the Eagles could move on if the injuries and the price tag become a little bit too much to bear. I've also been dreaming about this scenario, too. Growing up in Westchester, I grew up on Andy Reid and Joe Paterno football. Still watch Penn State. Covered Penn State in my last job at WNEP up there in Scranton. Shout out to the 570. I love Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is the best tight end in this 2025 draft class. So versatile, so gifted, great size, great hands. He could be a tremendous player on this Eagles offense. And could you imagine moving off of Dallas Goedert for Tyler Warren? You have him on a rookie contract, and arguably he could be a better player. That would be something special because you think about this Eagles team, they don't have a lot of needs, right? So they could get a luxury type of pick in the first round. The question is, will Warren last up until the late 20s, hopefully the early 30s. Hopefully it's a 32nd pick for Philadelphia. That would mean that they won a Super Bowl. So who would you rather play in the first round? Speaking of the first round of the playoffs, is it Washington? Is it Green Bay? Type WASGB. Share your thoughts with me. I put this out on the community tab of the YouTube channel. Overwhelming amount of people went with Washington, and I'm looking at the final tallies here. It was pretty significant. 66% Commanders, 34% Packers on 4,500 votes. I agree with that. I think the Packers are a pretty scary 7 seed. So we talked about the Birds getting that key player back for a playoff run. Could Jalen Hurts be another equation back for a playoff run? I hope so. And Saquon at peace with the decision to not play against the Giants. As for Jalen Hurts, still has not cleared concussion protocol as of this Thursday. He was a non-participant in practice. And on the estimated injury report on Wednesday, he was also a DNP. Did not participate. So that means that Hurts still, even though he suffered that concussion against Washington 2 games ago, has not cleared concussion protocol. It is a shame that the injury happened when it did because everybody was asking for this pass game to improve. What did Hurts do? Comes out against Pittsburgh and was tremendous in that game. Threw for 290 yards and accounted for, 3-4 touchdowns in that game. And to start that game against Washington, the Eagles were torching the Commanders. He started 2 drives. It resulted in 14 points. Something that is a little bit of a concern for me, though, as we think about Hurts. You know, if he comes back for the wild card round, that would be a disaster if he doesn't. That's 3 weeks off before playing in a playoff game when the pressure is going to be ratcheted up. So that does worry me. But Hurts also ran into a similar situation, as did Philadelphia back in 2022 against the Chicago Bears. Remember when he got taken down on that throwing shoulder in Week 14, missed the next 2 games, Weeks 15 and 16, and the Eagles lost both of those games. Cowboys and then the New Orleans Saints. Hurts came back for the final game of the regular season, played, and then had another week off, first round bye because Philadelphia had the number 1 seed. So something similar. He knows how to handle that type of thing, but you always worry about a little bit of rust. As for how Saquon Barkley reacted to being told that he will not play against the Giants in Week 18, you saw the video, at least a lot of you did. He looked to be a little bit bummed out. He also said, I signed with the Eagles not to chase records, but to chase Super Bowls. Here's one of the quotes from Saquon. Nick Sirianni asked me if I wanted to play, if I wanted to go for it. I said on Sunday I probably didn't care too much for it. When I slept on it, it was like, it's an opportunity to implant my name in football history. I may never get another opportunity like that again, so I'm down. But at the end of the day, I don't care if we're putting the team at risk. And so that's part of the conversation, right? If Saquon gets hurt, the Eagles' Super Bowl hopes greatly diminish if he's out of the lineup compared to him being in the lineup. He did say that his father was the one who took the news the hardest, and I imagine his pops may have grown up watching Eric Dickerson live in 1984 when that record was set, and so to see your son all these years later potentially break that record, that would have been cool. But you know what's also cool? Playing in New Orleans in February for the Super Bowl. What say you? Do you agree with the decision to not play Saquon Barkley? A for agree, D for disagree. Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and hook yourselves up with some Roan.